I don't use TikTok, mostly because it being run by China is a cover story. It's clearly owned by Kesha. And have you seen her YouTube account? It'll make you wish that China invades the US, I can assure you. But people show me TikToks all the time of some lonely ne'er-do-well. You know the type I'm talking about, the ones that would have used the clout of the Queen dying to say, here's something spicy that no one has the guts to say, okay? I'm glad she's dead. You're glad that lovely old saint of a lady died? Come on, let's ditch becoming a republic just for that one remark. Or, even if it slips through, let's make our first president President Paul Murray. Oh yeah, you thought John Kerr was bad. Seriously though, like this video if you think that would be amazing. Paul Murray going down in history as the first president of Australia. My first point of order, I'm reinstating the monarchy. I'm telling you though, the general view I'm getting about TikTok's politics is that people telling it like it is on TikTok is just Twitter if it was illiterate. And sure, there's TikTok equivalents of your Michael Wests and your PR guy who fight the enemy on its own territory, and I salute you for your patriotism, lads. But you really are the Anzacs in Gallipoli, aren't you? Just with stakes that are nowhere near as high, and actually just no stakes. But you know Twain's quote, if you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read the newspaper, you're misinformed. Damn. Mark Twain really was the Mark Twain of his time. It's like an 1800s Bill Burr. Is there anything he said that isn't completely on point? I feel like Zoomers are trading getting their information source for some nerd with deep-seated psychological problems that look exactly like Richard D. Natali, for loners with very visible psychological problems who look exactly like if Pink and Fat Bastard had a child. And as the only 100% certified sane information outlet in the country, that scares me. Oh, I'm so scared I need my Mario security blanket. No, that won't do it. I need my sane juice. Where's my sane juice? Ah! The Windex Challenge. I actually did spray some of that in my mouth. And see? If you want to see such hilarious antics live, I have a question for you. What does Sydney, Perth, Canberra, and Brisbane have in common? They all have a subsect of people that clearly are very into monster trucks, yes, but also I'm coming to your town in a much shorter amount of time than it would have taken to migrate to Australia via steamship. Wow, how does he do it? There's plenty of studies out there that demonstrate that essentially 1 in 5 news stories on TikTok are pretty much fabrication. That's a huge improvement on newspapers, I'll give them that. That's closer to 5 and 5. But seeing as you're getting, 4 bouts of epilepsy on TikTok a minute? You're getting something that is wrong virtually every minute. It's way more effective than newspapers, sure. And that's just straight up factual inaccuracies, by the way. I'm more concerned about misrepresentation of facts. You know those Greens talking points, those deliberate oversimplifications spread by drug addicts to teenage drug addicts that can't think about anything longer than 10 seconds, that we, being the extremely valuable news source that we are always trying to put into context, like, Labor hates refugees. Well, okay, there's more to that than a sentence. I could explain it to you. Nope, I'm already bored. Now I'm watching a TikTok about the health benefits of anal beach and yeah, it's already over. Damn it! It depends what your flavour is too, right? There's always going to be some version of Labor's ban on masks called the woke agenda isn't woke enough. They tax too little, they tax too much. I don't know, I forget which one's supposed to be the good one these days. The point is, they are all market-tested attack points that you see echoed on all social media in different little enclaves, and the overall objective of seeding these micro points into these micro communities is to disable competent government. I'll go into this more in another video, but this death by 1,000 cuts strategy is not new. Only the platforms that are able to spread these misrepresentations are new, and they can spread them quicker than at any point in history, and there is a never-ending supply of dimwits perfectly willing to unwittingly spread these government-crippling ideas for free. And TikTok is the absolute bottom of the barrel, used by developing brains that are simultaneously devolving thanks to TikTok, who, because they have no attention span now, they just missed out on the fact that I had a moustache appear on my face for 3 milliseconds. oh, look, it's back. Lightning strikes twice. But that lacing of damaging messaging that was formed in think tanks and then sprinkled in between the general feeling you get on TikTok of I'm missing out and everyone has a better life than me. And that's true. But if you get off and go back to what nerds did back in the day, which is get obsessed with Doctor Who, you'll be much happier lost in that endless drama, even when you come across this. What the hell? Like, I know this is supposed to be a robot, but come on. Don't you think you dressing up as a robot at 5 was better than that? But I think this is where a new fault line is emerging, and it is because of that tiny negativity-soaked attention span that I think it's going to be very hard to reach these people. Like, what I was noticing with the whole, yeah, f*** the Queen. We're like the Sex Pistols without the sex, yeah? A lot of the politics seems to be centered around symbols that their enclave has either been trained to like or dislike, like the $5 note. I wish I could just say to them, oh, you like symbols? Well, Anthony Albanese just made the Governor General very upset. Yeah, how's that for spitting on old Betty's grave, eh? I'm sorry to say that, Betty. I'm just trying to get on their level. You were like the world's grandma, and we oddly saw you more than our own. But you know that 18 million Scott Morrison gave the GG's Foundation, and then Gigi Hurley signed off on Scott Morrison becoming a secret dictator? Shirts available at friendlyjordies.com. What better symbolism do you need than Albo going, nah, if you want 18 million, you're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way, Hurley, by going back in time and starting the surf brand, Hurley. See, if you were into Doctor Who, kids, you'd know that going back in time's possible. Yeah, like this video if you like that gag. I was pretty proud of my time in the writer's room for that one of, Hurley. Oh, I like the blood shorts, yeah. But you couldn't pick a better symbol of what these governments stand for than favours for mates, favours for the public. If you really don't want to print Charles on the new $5 bills, what about Albo going, yeah, go to South. Now, change the $5 note to green and red. And not just because of the South's colour either, but because of my secret alliance with the Greens. Or how I see that the same Labour types are always bitching about robo-debt and also bitching about Bill Shorten. I have got to ask, why are you attacking the guy that was not only instrumental in bringing the robo-debt scandal to light, but also got it to a royal commission? And see all the people that were celebrating the Queen's death? How lame would a royal commission sound if it was just a commission? How would you even be able to tell the difference between a royal commission and a normal commission without the Queen? You know, in Paris, they call a royal commission a royale commission. How's that? A royal commission into multi-billion-dollar false bills linked to 2,000 deaths. I hope people actually go to jail. Who, what a refreshing change of pace from the last government, aren't whistleblowers trying to draw attention to massive public-private nexus scams such as robo-debt. Addressing robo-debt is something you heard the filthy pinkos endlessly whinge about, and when it happens, what do? I can't complain about that anymore. That can't bitch about. Bill Shorten changed the name on forms back from birth parent to mother. What the f***? Good! Just more evidence that he's the best Prime Minister we never had. Apart from, of course, Simon Crean. G'day. You don't remember me at all, hey? I do, mate. I do. Who are you again? Not increasing the minimum wage? That was always at the top of the Pinkos lists, and then when Labor comes in and says, okay, one of our very first acts, demand the Fair Work Commission raise it. $2,000 a year extra, largest increase we've seen in a decade, straight off the bat. Any credit? No. Okay, just announced the largest increase in the pension in 12 years? No, people are racist, f*** them. Increases to JobKeeper, ab study, rent assistance? No, because they haven't addressed the main issue, which is abolishing private property. I want you to start observing this general pattern, and that is, nothing is ever good enough for these people that do nothing. Well, I'm sure the residents of the biggest public housing boom we're about to see since the GFC, that is 30,000 homes built, will think having a roof over their head is good enough. I'm sure Anthony Albanese introducing a $5 billion childcare package that'll make childcare universal, just like Labor made Medicare and disability care universal. This is honestly up there with one of the most robust, ambitious socio-economic reforms in this nation's history. Right up there with Bob Hawke appearing on the midday show. It honestly angers me. It's never enough for these people. It is one of my biggest peeves in life, seeing incompetent nobodies ragging on people that are far more competent than any of us. Like the narcissism to think, I've done more for the community than the guy who negotiated the Beaconsfield rescue, okay? I made a TikTok shitting on him that's not even remotely accurate, and the TikTok's out of time. Like, you know who's actually earned the right to criticise the Labor Party? People in the Labor Party. People like Adam Searle, Kevin Rudd, Eddie Obeid. Can't believe they dogged a well-respected, prominent businessman like Obeid. Just because he's lib. Just for the TikTokers of the audience, that last one was obviously a joke. But for the other two, they've earned the right to criticise the Labor Party because they actually know what they're talking about. But also because the Labor Party, due to the faction wars, absolutely shafted them. I wouldn't even blame them if they chucked a Mark Latham, because if you're actually involved in a political machine, it's as cutthroat as Big Brother. If they were lesser men, they'd actually be justified in their hatred of the Workers' Party, because unlike this massive swath of nobodies endlessly bitching about them, Labour most certainly did not improve their lives, I can assure you. Like, look at Rudd. Still out there campaigning, still on every outlet that'll have him urging Australia to vote for the Labor Party because they possess an attention span that is greater than every tickhead combined, so 18 seconds collectively, and they get big stuff done, like getting us out of the GFC, or out of the evil clasp of Gladys Berejiklian. Massive accomplishments that any of this rabble on these beta sites were given the same task. They'd get bored, start playing Dota, and then when a staffer comes in and says, how are we going to spin this massive disaster? Just say it's the system's fault. And what is the system? Don't ask me, because thinking about it triggers my anxiety! Which is why you have to support us on Patreon, because you really need to understand how many fronts governments that actually help the public are attacked from, and it is a constant war of attrition and misinformation coming from all sides that leads to having a government so incompetent that even when there's an unprecedented national emergency, oh my god, that smell of smoke is reminding me of how sick luau's are. All throughout this nation history, every time there's been an anti-liberal paper set up, they've been crushed by advertisers refusing to advertise in the papers and running them out of business. Don't let it happen again. By getting a shirt paying out Scott Morrison. He could still be secretly Prime Minister. We don't know until we have the Royale Commission. Come see my show.
Please share and comment below. Comment.